yeah, they were just talking about how it's a satire, but the book wasn't. And Casper Van Dien's like, when I read the book, and he said that like 3 times, it's like, all right, settle down, Martin.
We get it.
We get it. You read.
Now,
You're smarter than
now
you
Martin gets it.
He's just sitting there. He's like, wait, have they been making fun of me the whole time? Welcome to our Film Fathers podcast, the definitive podcast about fatherhood, film, and fatherhood in film. This is Jelani, and with me as always are a guy with a $1,000 shoe and a guy who's extremely fragile right now. Martin and Brady.
They just fuck you, and they fuck you, and they fuck you. And then just when you think it's all over, that's when the real fucking starts.
And you really believe that just because you publish children's books, people are going to care about my reputation? You can have pictures of me wearing nipple rings, butt fucking Captain Kangaroo. The only thing they care about is the stock, and whether that stock is up or down.
This week, we're diving headfirst into the paranoia, precision, and perfection of an underrated masterpiece. What if every move, every word, every person around you was part of a grand illusion? Director David Fincher invited us on a mind-bending psychological thriller that made us question reality itself. With a twisting narrative and haunting atmosphere, we'll explore why The Game isn't just a thriller, it's a full-blown existential roller coaster. So buckle up. No refunds, no guarantees. What if your whole life was just a setup?
What if?
I haven't seen this movie in a while.
Same.
It's been on the rewatch list for us. I remember liking it, loving it pretty much when it came out. And
Same.
I don't think I watched all the way through since it came out. So it's 97. It's been a while. It's really good.
Very good.
It's way better than I remember. Like I remember thinking it was just a little, I don't know, gimmicky or something. I thought I would, looking back on it, I thought I would think it was gimmicky, but it wasn't. It was just good.
I really hadn't seen it in a while because I thought Sean Penn gets murdered in it. And that was part of like the murder mystery where you had to figure out like what happened.
You're thinking of a very different movie.
Apparently.
I remembered the ending.
I remembered the ending.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No.
Well, no.
I don't think you did.
No.
I think you forgot the ending. Or
I thought that happened earlier.
I thought it happened as part of the game.
Okay.
Like, that happened, but
arguably it was part of it. You're saying early on though, like he gets murdered. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Fair
early
enough.
on, before
you remember the champagne bottle breaking and him dying.
I remember him falling off the roof into the
okay.
airbag and all of that.
Okay.
But it was good to go back and rewatch it. And as I was watching it again, the way that Fincher shoots his films and working with whoever his cinematographers are, just excellent. The scene that really, I guess just stuck out to me was when he goes home and he has, the birthday dinner by himself, but it's, set up on the kitchen counter. Yeah. And it's, lit. You're, looking up at it, and the way it was okay, we're in a Fincher film now.
we always talk about how dark it is, and this one's dark.
Very dark.
But it works. It's
very dark.
It sets the tone, and, I didn't really know. I mean, no one knew. This was, his second big movie, or third if you count Alien 3, right? But he wasn't as well known for his style, but it's definitely all there. And I feel like the score was good, not great. Things have gotten better later on. So if this was later in his career, I feel like this movie would have been even better. But it's still really, really good. Yeah. It's a very solid watch. And I remember thinking that I would be able to poke more holes in it. Something like that too, but I really wasn't. Everything, and they even hint at that, at the end when the guy's like, "Oh, if you didn't jump, I was going to throw you." You could see that they would have fail safes, or "Hey, if you chooses option A, we'll go this way. If he chooses option B, we'll go this way." Because you think how did they know he was going to do that? Or what if he didn't roll down the window and figure that part out? And when he's in the car,
just dies.
Yeah.
It's obviously he wouldn't die. Someone would save him, and then they would be part of the game too. Whatever it is, and it's I kept trying to poke holes in, and I really couldn't. Everything seemed to work.
I mean, there's probably literal holes if you want to get really picky. But don't.
Give me one.
No, but don't.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
enjoy it for what it is. Like,
no, we can't do that anymore. I can't just sit and enjoy movies. I have to scrutinize them.
I'll give you one hole.
You guys did this to me.
Well, I was just gonna say when they're at her house and the strike team comes and they shoot. She's like, "Oh, they're just blanks."
Yeah,
blanks don't make holes in your wall.
Squibs.
Correct.
They said squibs
Through the entire house.
Yeah, they set them
and
up
the
already.
fence from across the block.
Yeah. The car window.
The car window.
What I thought, the only one that I had questioned was, how did they know where he was going to point the gun when he fired for the private investigator? Like, he pointed the gun and it shot
At
the
the
tire
tire.
out.
Well,
Like,
that was the other
They couldn't
thing.
have planted a squib there.
Well,
that
that
was
was
about the only hole I got.
That was another one that
Plot hole.
when they're on the rooftop and she says when he's holding the silver gun,
Yeah.
she said that's not an automatic.
Yeah.
How did you get that?
Right.
And she's
They
like,
did know about that gun.
But they did leave it in the house
Right.
for him.
Right, they knew about it, but she said you were supposed to grab the guard's gun,
Yeah.
but the investigator had a revolver too. So again, they weren't using all blanks because he shot the tire out.
Right. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That one was planted. I'm saying, how did they know where he was going to shoot it? That's about it.
I don't know.
Or that he was going to shoot
like
it
you
at
said,
all.
you can poke holes if you really wanted to, but you don't.
Shoot
You don't
holes.
have to. What were you going to say, Brady?
Well, you said like you can't watch things like that anymore, right? Is this close to the forefront of movies that made you
Question everything?
start looking at
Yeah.
things differently and reevaluating like what you just saw
Absolutely.
and rewatched? And I think it is.
Yeah.
I
Usual
was,
Suspects, which we did recently.
Yeah.
Before this, and then The Game for sure
It
was
just-
one of those movies. And this is the '90s. This is why I love '90s movies because it's never going to be like this again. Now we watch. I don't know. This is what I said about I think that's it too about Den of Thieves. Like you're kind of planning for that kind of stuff now.
You're anticipating the
You're
twist.
anticipating it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was. You're right. It was the forefront.
This
of it
was
for me.
one of those that just was. You got to the end and were like, "Whoa, what?" And I mean, maybe knowing now, rewatching it and knowing and remembering it, it was. I was picking up on multiple things that were like obvious clues that are hidden throughout. Like that should be a tell and should give it away. But I just don't think, to your earlier point, that we were conditioned to look at things like that.
Right.
So you were just letting a lot of this stuff go past
Yeah.
you.
A big one was when he was giving out his bank codes, and she's sitting there like looking over at him, and I'm like, I didn't remember exactly how it went, but I'm like, yeah, why would he be doing that in front of her?
Right. That's what Jen said. She's like, there it is. Like,
And I like his whole paranoid thing with the water. He's like, no ice.
Oh yeah,
Keep
this
the-
is opened.
Yeah. Why? Who opened this? Like when you get drugged once, probably and left in Mexico, you don't let that shit happen again.
Let me tell you, that Mexican scene feels way out of left field.
Like, did they plan? Like, how could they have planned that one?
Dude, just the whole thing. Like,
why
this is
did
the
they
whole-
have to send him to Mexico?
Right, but it doesn't explain it per se. But I did see a note saying that the whole waking up in a crypt in Mexico is an homage to the film "Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia."
Yeah, I've seen that.
1974. In which the protagonist is buried alive in a Mexican cemetery and must claw his way out of a shallow grave. And they even dress him in the same suit that Bernie was wearing in that movie.
Oh, funny.
But
The
otherwise,
only reason I've
I
seen that
don't really
movie-
know why that is in this movie.
The only reason I've seen that movie is because in Fletch, I think it's Fletch, Chevy Chase says, like, a waiter comes up and he's like, can you just bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia and a glass of hot fat? It's like the stupid, but it's when Chevy was great. I just his deadpan delivery.
Yeah.
And it was just, I'm like, what is that? And then I saw the movie. I'm like, I have to watch this movie.
That's great. I wouldn't even have understood the reference at all. But I don't necessarily know why that's in this movie. Like, Fincher must really enjoy it. Whatever. It does feel like.
I think they really wanted to. I mean, how else do you get a man to kill himself? You take all his money, you leave him out there, and you make him think he killed his brother. Yeah, that might do it. That might make him jump off a roof.
So that was the question I had. What if he just full on snaps? Like, after he jumps, like he just has total PTSD, like doesn't snap out of it like the way his brother thought, and it's just like,
Yeah, I thought that. I thought he would have broken down as soon as he saw his brother. Just broke down and cried instead of being like, "What is this?"
Right.
Whatever he asked, I'm like, "There's no way." He's crying right away and hugging him. Like,
Then that guy was going to lift him up and drag him to the edge and throw him off and murder him.
Yeah.
And if you're going to go what ifs, I think it's what if he doesn't quite land correct in the center
I
of
know,
the
right? Center mass,
which apparently restructured breakaway glass, ballroom. There's your holes if you want. But
there's a little bit, but
then he hits the perfect X in the
right.
But it was great. That whole thing coming together, and you can hear the audio of people like essentially reporting. It's a direct landing or a direct hit or whatever, and
all that kind of stuff. To me, it just shows that they're thinking about it, and they're trying to say, yes, we had contingencies, we had things in place, and yes, he was. We knew he was going to land this way, and we planned it. Whatever. If it's not exactly how you want it to be, then they could have explained it with some other throwaway line.
It was cool to have all the different people in the cafeteria. Waiting for him.
Great.
And just every person he's interacted with throughout, and you're starting to pick people out left and right of where you saw him and throughout the movie. This movie to me, I saw this movie a couple times, probably in the late 90s and early 2000s. I think I remember I always liked that one movie, The Game. Wasn't fully into the understanding how awesome Fincher was as a whole, right? It was so early, but I love that this is in his archive, his library, because this is a great one to go back to. I've definitely used it in our pyramid game, for like Sean Penn, I think. And
who's the actress that we? I don't think I've ever seen since.
Deborah Kara Unger.
Correct.
Yeah. Has she been in anything else?
Come
on, you don't have this in the top of the dome?
Her known for Silent Hill.
Okay, I've seen that. It's a horror
video game movie.
Oh.
The Way.
Wait, Silent Hill is based on a video game?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh.
And the movie 13, which I did see, actually. I think Holly Hunter's the mom, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And what's the girl? Brosnahan maybe is the daughter? Or else the other girl who kind of looks like her? You don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know, but I forget her name. I can't.
It's Evan Rachel Wood.
Evan Rachel Wood.
But I'm right about that.
Yes. When you say it now, yes.
It's one of those, it's like, is she in 13 or is she in the charming Miss Maisel? Which of those?
Do you watch Maisel?
No.
Oh, that's good.
But I know what it is.
It was delightful.
The Salton Sea.
Have
you seen it?
You're deep pulling there.
Yeah. No.
The Hurricane. She was in that.
Okay.
And then Payback.
Hurricane or The Hurricane?
The Hurricane.
Is The Hurricane with Denzel? Yeah.
Oh, that's the one with Denzel? I've seen that.
I thought it was just Hurricane.
Me too.
No, it's The Hurricane.
Here comes the story of the hurricane. You get the singing for free.
Yeah, she looks actually like someone that, like a mom.
She looks like
someone you know IRL or
yeah.
Oh, okay.
She does. She actually looks like a mom of like one of the kids I coached. It's funny. I never really realized it until I was watching the movie, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, no, totally." But she's pretty good. It feels like I don't know why she really didn't really go to much more than this.
And I like the ending, and then with the
get a cup of coffee at the airport.
Yeah. And just the music starts playing and it fades out, or it fades to black. Great, the Alice down the rabbit hole situation. And they were playing that song earlier, right?
When he goes home after the break.
Yes, it's with all the stuff.
All the graffiti and the Dayglow paint.
So they use the song twice. What do you think of that, Brady?
I'm not a fan.
And then CRS, very generic. I like how they call it out though. They're like, oh, it sounds like someone that can make ski equipment or tennis equipment or something like that. Consumer recreational services.
Yeah.
Did you see the other two times they use it?
No,
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it. Where was it?
Outside her apartment, there was a van.
Cable repair services.
Yep. And that's where all of them started funneling out of. And then the cab.
Yes.
When he's in the cab.
Yeah. California
trapped.
Regal Services. Or Regal Sedans. Sorry. Okay. California Regal Sedans.
And for some reason, I was thinking there was one more. But I can't remember off the top of my head. I thought there was a third. But.
And I also, the scene I think what really sold it, that it was real was Connie, was Sean Penn being in the car and being like, you're with them. Here, why do you have all the keys? Because it's like, and then he's like, you brought them to me, but it's like he sold it really well.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what makes it. Because at some point I remember thinking, like, I feel like I would know, or I feel like I would do something differently or freak out much earlier than he does.
Well, and so that's funny because I didn't love how I was like, it's beyond presumptive that he went in like guns blazing at that Anson Bears hotel room.
Yeah.
Throwing pictures around,
right?
Like essentially like completely convinced that that's where it's all coming from. And it's like, I mean,
I might have flipped out at somebody else earlier.
A lot's going on, right? Like for that to be where you're going to go and chuck a bunch of like, I guess theoretically pornographic
Nudie magazine day
pictures. Not 100% sure, but that to me seemed a little aggressive for the situation. Although it probably felt like his life was falling apart.
So I'm trying to remember, but he got rejected, right? They said
that
to start off, that's what
mess with him.
That's your misdirect, I think,
that's your misdirect.
As a watcher.
But then, because the thing that would threw me in the beginning was when he goes and he actually goes through all the tests. When he sits down with James Reborn and like, oh yeah, just fill out this paperwork.
2 hours, and he's
2
like,
hours, like you said that 2 hours ago or whatever. He's like, at one point he would just be annoyed and like, I'm leaving, I'm done.
Yeah, like an hour in.
Yeah,
he definitely wasn't a man of patience. He was like, oh shit, okay, I'm in. But whatever, he stuck it out. I wanted to call it out because I'll forget otherwise. The opening credits, like the old movie, Succession vibes.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You watch Succession?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So Martin,
yes.
it's spot on in my opinion. I was just like, oh,
and even what was flashing through his mind, it definitely looked like.
I picked up on that right away, and I was like, oh, this is. I would be curious if that was not somewhat connected in some way, shape, or form. And his dad in that looked really good to be his dad. Like I almost thought they used
Kirk. No,
but Kirk's been like 140 for like a couple of years.
Mandelbaum.
But the dad looked a lot like it could be Michael Douglas, like aged. And I don't know him from anybody, but I thought you would appreciate this. That it was Charles. You know this
Martinet.
Charles Martinet.
Yeah.
The man who plays his father was the official voice actor for Nintendo Super Mario from 1991 to 2023.
He's it's a me guy?
Yeah.
So funny. Such a random.
Right. I'm like, that's why he doesn't have a speaking role. Would have lost all credibility.
Have we, in all our time doing this podcast, have we done a Michael Douglas movie? I don't remember ever really talking about him.
No, as we were watching it, I was like, oh, we should have done this with Falling Down.
Falling Down, yeah. So good.
To see him kind of losing it.
Yeah. In a different way.
No, we should talk about Michael Douglas. I mean, he's obviously an iconic actor.
Brady's big fan of Disclosure.
Love Disclosure. Who doesn't? Just a good workplace environment movie.
Little Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile.
I've never seen either of those.
Are you guys already on the
IMDb?
You know the top four?
Yeah, I'm looking at them, but
well, I think he just
did
named
you look?
probably.
No, I haven't looked yet, so I'm going to go.
The known for Michael Douglas, and he's got such a long list. It's
yeah.
I feel like if you get two, you're doing good.
I mean, I want to put this there, but that seems wrong to just recency bias to it. I'll go The Game. Oh no! All right. The Game, Falling Down, Disclosure, and American President.
What do you got?
Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile. Which Ant-Man is he in? Is he in the first one?
He's in all. He's first and the second.
First and second. I'll go with the second Ant-Man. No, first Ant-Man, and Falling Down.
So you guys, this is part of the problem for him having so many movies.
Maybe
so
Disclosure.
Jelani got 0. Martin got Romancing the Stone.
Yes.
But you guys forgot Wall Street, which is a very
Gordon Gekko.
Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
And Behind the Candelabra would be your standard out of nowhere movie.
I did know he was in that, but
no, it's
Basic Instinct.
Yeah, Basic Instinct would have been better too.
Yeah.
I'm mad that I didn't.
I'm surprised Falling Down's not in
Wall
it.
Street.
Over Behind the Candelabra, but yeah, Wall Street should be kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's I think viewed
War
as
of the
pretty
Roses
iconic.
could have been another one if I wanted to go all like romantic comedies with what's her name, Kathleen Turner Overdrive. What movie is that from? Is that High Fidelity?
Maybe
I think that was like Jack Black's band name. He's like, we're going to
Traffic, Wonder Boys, A Perfect Murder.
Oh, I love Wonder Boys.
The Ghost in the Darkness.
Yep, that's 6. By the way, here's a run for you. I'm gonna give you a run.
All right.
92. Well, he has 2 and 92. I don't know what Shining Through is, so we're gonna omit that. This one is not also 92. Basic Instinct, Falling Down, Disclosure, The American President, Ghost in the Darkness, The Game, A Perfect Murder, Wonder Boys, Traffic. That's 8 years of movies. All in a row.
I'll only cut out Ghost in the Darkness. Wasn't that great with Val Kilmer?
You like
I know Kevin Kent likes it. He owns it on DVD, and that's why I first watched it.
But
that's about they're like the lions,
Yeah, Hunting the
right?
Lions.
Hunting
Yeah.
lions. It was.
I can't say I've definitely seen it, but I don't remember.
I'm just saying
much.
of that list. If you cut out that, everything else I think is pretty stellar.
That's
Traffic.
pretty good.
He was
The lowest
drug czar.
rated movie is Disclosure. I'm just
that's criminal.
yeah. It's just all right. Thanks, Ebert.
But yeah, I mean, he had a big part of my early.
That's 92 to 2000.
yeah.
By the way,
I watched all those movies.
Yeah.
when they came out. So, or when they were available to me. Yeah,
yeah. It's
so I
pretty
didn't
crazy.
go to the theater for any of them.
When you went to Blockbuster.
Right,
they
but
were
Blockbuster. Yes.
All right, Mom, we're going to see Disclosure at the theater, Cinemaplex.
It's Michael Crichton.
It's
He
a
wrote
Crichton
Jurassic Park in Congo.
Of course it's going to be
It's
good.
going to be amazing.
You just walk out like, that was not what I expected.
It was not what I expected.
Have you watched all of those other, so I was a big Crichton fan.
Yeah.
So I've read, Jurassic Park, Lost World, Sphere.
Is that how I sound like when I say it?
Yeah. But then watching Rising Sun,
Yeah, I watched
Disclosure,
Rising Sun.
the ones that aren't sci-fi based
Yeah.
but more political
Great
thrillers.
train robbery.
Yeah. Or what's the other one?
Andromeda.
Yeah, Andromeda Strain, but that's still sci-fi. Eaters of the Dead.
Eaters of the Dead. Yeah.
That was 13th Warrior. They made that, which was not a great
No, that was
movie.
Antonio Banderas. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the one that I really like that is not a sci-fi, but more like the political thriller or just the thriller
Yeah.
is Airframe.
I never read Airframe.
That's good.
They should make a movie out of it.
I think
Or
they
did
could.
they?
I don't think they did, but I think they could. I think it would be because again,
I bet you it got
it's a weird
I
topic.
bet you
to
people have
talk about.
tried.
Yeah,
And then it just probably failed, stalled somewhere,
yeah.
and then they never went back to it because I don't see why not.
It's all about wheeling and dealing of businesses and stuff like that. So again,
I'm
it
down.
might not play the best, but you get a good screenwriter who can punch
Yeah.
it up a little bit. I think it might work.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Put what's his name on it? Aaron Sorkin on it. Get some snappy dialogue.
well, that's the American President, right?
Yeah.
We may have to get our Sorkin fix at some point by dipping into what I think the preface to The West Wing.
Absolutely.
Pulling Sorkin's political chops with Martin Sheen and that's great. It's and that's a great Michael Douglas role. Great fun, ideal president.
Absolutely. Love a good idealized version of a president.
It's about the best way to
How
say it.
far we done fell.
So the back to the game. 3 Oscar winners.
Yes, the game. What? Oh, really? Wait, not for this.
No.
Yeah.
Includes 3 Oscar winners
Yeah.
and 2 nominees. This would be is it amazing?
Just Sean Penn, Fincher, and Michael Douglas. I mean,
Fincher's not part of this.
Yeah, I think it's just the actors.
just the actors you're talking about. Okay.
Sean Penn, yes.
Who else was in it?
Armand Mueller-Stahl.
Nominee.
Who's that?
He's
the-
Bear,
Bear, the publisher.
the guy who
Oh.
goes into Charles.
What was he in that he got nominated for? Now I'm asking hard questions.
Yeah, that one.
I've seen him before, but I would not have pulled the name. Good pull, by the way, and good knowing that he was nominated.
I feel like
Shine. The movie Shine.
Jeffrey Rush.
With Jeffrey Rush, yeah.
He's the
I have
father
not
of
seen
a
that.
piano player.
Okay.
Trying to think of the other people that would have.
So yeah, Michael Douglas and Sean Penn, yes. So the third winner is actually Spike Jones.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
I
Did
saw
you see him?
Yeah,
Okay.
I absolutely did. Yeah,
Okay,
he was
because
the
he's
paramedic,
a random cameo as a paramedic, which is a little
But
tricky.
he won for what? Writing or directing? Or
Directing Three Kings, right?
Yeah. But I don't think maybe he got nominated for that. No, he didn't direct. David O. Russell
Or
directed
David O.
it.
Russell, yeah. But
But Spike Jones was
Best original screenplay.
in...
Three Kings?
Maybe he wrote that, but I don't think he did because I remember David O. Russell saying that he kind of wrote the role for Spike Jones, like he had him in mind.
Yeah.
But that's funny. I know what he's done. He has definitely had some good movies, and he used to do
Her.
Okay, yeah, and he used to. He's a
Music guy.
music
Right.
video director. I think he did Beastie Boys stuff.
He did
Yep,
Fatboy
I remember
Slim.
that. Fat Boy Slim, yep,
Oh, yeah.
I remember that
Yeah.
too.
The
Praise
one
You?
with Praise You. What's
think-
the one with Dancing Walking?
I think he did that one.
He's,
too.
he did do that one as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of that, but it's
A Rockefeller Skank, I think.
Yes.
that could be right.
You can go with this and you can go with that. That's such a great video. Christopher Walken,
That
so great.
contributed to the
Bert
lore
G.
of Bert G. Yeah, and the other nominee was Carol Baker, who was his maid,
Ilsa.
Oh,
Ilsa,
she's probably
baby
in
doll, 1956.
50 yeah, I was gonna say. I don't think I've seen that one.
That one wasn't on your list.
Nope. It was not on high on
With a touch of evil. Didn't
that touch
fit
of
right
evil.
in.
Better than Baby Doll, I bet.
But it was interesting because two of the older characters or actors and actresses in the movie, no clue. I had no clue. Seeing them, that I knew I recognized him. So Armin Mueller-Stahl, I was like, how do I know this guy? And I looked him up.
Yeah, what is it?
It's West Wing. He's like the Israeli prime minister.
Okay.
In West Wing.
Funny.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I've definitely seen him, but I would not have placed it.
I didn't see Shine. So
I did like again, because it's all the actors that are staged to pretend to be, part of the CRS program or whatever. Did you recognize, obviously, the private investigator?
I recognize him, but I
Yeah.
don't know from where.
So he's the
Hold
cop.
on. He's in Memento.
Yes.
He's the guy behind the...
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's done a lot
Only because
of,
we just watched that
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, the hotel or the motel.
Motel.
he's a Nolan guy because he's also in Batman Begins.
Okay.
Oh, he's a cop, right?
He's the cop in
Yeah.
Batman
Yeah.
Begins. And then, did you recognize the cab driver?
Yes.
No, we
Ooh,
didn't
that's our
really
guy.
see the cab driver.
Yeah, you did.
He's-
He's our
it's
star
dark,
guy.
but
He's
you
from
s-
Braveheart
Oh, at the end. Yes,
and Gladiator.
Yes.
And Gladiator.
Yes, yeah.
You see him in the
didn't
cafeteria.
in the cafeteria I saw him and I recognized him, but I didn't see him. I didn't know that was the cab
I
driver.
recognized
Yeah.
him as soon as I saw him in the cab.
Yeah, it was dark.
It was very,
It was Fincher dark, so I didn't.
It was Fincher dark.
I couldn't quite make him out.
No one's arguing that part.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that was. I mean, the scars are obviously
Right.
telling, shall we say? But I enjoyed the cast as a whole, and even like the James Rebhorn. Is that
Yeah.
Rebhorn?
Rebhorn.
He's in Meet the Fockers or
Yep.
Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents. I mean, he's fourth build.
Independence Day.
Yeah, what's he in Independence?
He's
Day?
the NSA director.
Okay.
He's the one that when they're talking about Area 51, he's like, that's not entirely true.
Yeah, that's right.
Tommy Flanagan was the name of the taxi
Yes,
driver.
Tommy Flanagan.
I think he was in Sons of Anarchy, even though I didn't watch it.
I think that might be right too.
Me neither.
Pretty sure I'm right about that. But yeah, as a whole, I this movie delivered again, and I genuinely was like, oh, it's been a while. I wonder if this is better in my brain.
Yeah.
No,
No, I'd watch this again.
perfectly solid movie. I'm sorry I didn't watch it with Colin. I think he would enjoy it.
Yeah,
It's great to having a 14-year-old son. It's like he's ready for all this.
Yeah.
Most of this stuff. Maybe not all.
I think so this one, there wasn't a ton of
there's
it's fine.
like,
Yeah.
Just
there's-
swear words.
swears and maybe a little bit of violence with them shooting at him.
Nothing
but-
that he hasn't seen in
Right.
a Marvel movie.
Get a bra shot. That's 14-year-old T.
He's like, I'm in.
But yeah, there's no real sexual nature to. But I mean, the pictures. But that's
you don't even see the pictures.
So yeah, like you take that off the table, and then it just comes down to swears and some guns and.
Yeah. I mean, when you're cleaning up the coke.
There's some drugs.
A nice solid twist movie that that would kind of blow his mind. I think it's ready. He's ready.
Fair.
First Fincher. That's not true. He's probably seen some other.
Yeah.
No, what would he have seen? No, it would be. It probably would be First Fincher.
You have him out there watching The Killer already, or Seven, or what's going on? Yeah. No, you go in order.
7.
Yeah, 7. You might have to wait. We might have to wait on the.
You say, hey, until you're ready for 7, you're not ready for Fincher. You got to start at the beginning. Oh, sorry, it's Alien 3.
Start him off with some of his music videos.
Right. Dude, you'd be at it for the rest of your life. It's crazy. His writing or his directing credits for music videos are like 75. It's insanity.
If you can't sit through Mank, you can't sit through the game.
Well, then I'm out.
Here, watch Mank and tell me if you like this director.
It's a little different than his normal style, but
it's literally not dark.
Social Network?
Yeah.
You could do that.
We could do that.
Might be able to hold him, but maybe not.
Yeah, probably wouldn't hold his attention quite yet.
I don't know that the banter, maybe I'm wrong.
He'd be like, what's Facebook? Is it like YouTube?
It would be like not, I think the banter of Sorkin would maybe not quite hit at that age.
Right.
Can't say that I would have probably been too down with it either at that point.
Yeah.
I came to love it. So
and like legalese and depositions.
I like the part where
Dakota Johnson
standing there in her underwear. Just fuck Sean Napster. Or not Sean Napster.
Yeah, close enough.
Sean Napster. He's not the
Evans.
Napster.
No, he's not. He's the other Sean.
Not the Napster.
Sean Evans, is that right?
Fanning.
Sean Fanning is Napster, but the different Sean, that's the
Sean Parker.
Parker. That's the one.
Why did I say Evans?
Why did I say Napster?
Yeah, maybe also save him from the girl with the dragon tattoo. Not yet.
Yeah, we could watch the Swedish version, or
it's a better version, but
yeah.
Oh, there's number 2 maybe is a no-go. One of those. It's pretty.
Yeah,
pretty brutal.
Yeah, the second one is.
I think it's the second one.
Actually,
in the bedroom, or is that the first one?
The first one.
That's the first one. Okay.
If I think about it, yeah. That's not right.
You're not there yet.
That's a much later. If you get through 7, then maybe go to that one.
God, the Fincher though, he's
so good.
He's so dark. Yeah, start him on the game. All right, that's it. Dip your toe in the water.
Yes, that's the right call.
You were on it.
When they go for lighting, he's like, "Get the fuck out of here. We don't need any lights. Less lights.
Our budget. We got to cut back your budget. All right, lights are the first to go." I did see a note where his house. I know you said like the kitchen shot, but the house is like a real mansion somewhere south of like San Fran.
Yeah,
but it's like the kitchen is very run down and old, and it's never really been redone, and so they kept it dark to kind of hide the fact that it's a mess, but they wanted the outside shot and everything else, and so that was just kind of part of the deal. But so that was.
I do like that it was in San Francisco too.
Yeah,
like not New York or L.A.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't see a ton of movies. And there was at the end when he walks out.
Something else that was San Francisco.
We watched 3 movies that were in San Francisco.
What? Shutter Island?
No, not Shutter Island. We just did Invisible Man.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah,
that's the most recent one. I was like, definitely felt like we just saw a San Francisco movie.
Wolfman. They started in San Francisco before they moved up.
That's right. There was a scene at the end where they were outside of a bar called House of Shields, which I've been in. I played guitar in. So I was like, yeah, House of Shields. Right off of Mission and Market.
I laughed a little bit every time they mentioned the Van Orton, because I just hear Van Houten.
Milhouse? Milhouse Van Houten?
So, Van Orton, he's the man. Kind of a dick.
I like that line at the end too. His brother goes and was like, "You're becoming kind of an asshole." So I needed to do this to you, bring you back down to reality. How old is he supposed to be? About 48.
It does seem extreme.
Yeah,
like the psychological pressure that is put on him in order to make his life more fun.
Is this just a big intervention? Like, that's what it was?
He had $600 million. Yeah, he definitely could take a break. You know, that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough for any man.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life, dude. Don't be a dick to your brother. Don't be a dick to your ex-wife.
Ex-wife.
That pairing didn't really make sense.
Yeah. Just be nicer to everybody, Van Orton. You got a lot.
Yeah.
As always, discovering the object of the game is the object of the game. And the object of your game is to subscribe to the pod wherever you listen. Thanks, and go to bed.